took a couple hunts to spend time with my buddy so he could try to get a deer and brought him to one of my favorite spots. And about an hour in, we saw these 4 does come out.
They're licking each other.
Unfortunately, Eric missed, but that's alright because we all know what it's like drawing back on a deer for our first time. About a month went by, and then I get a text while I'm in the stand, "Deer down," from Eric. And here's that story.
That is sweet. Oh, he's been rubbing.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
Look,
sweet.
he's got a nice rack on one side and then a spike on the other. Isn't that crazy?
He probably hurt his pedicle.
Oh, probably. What do you think he is, 2-year-old?
Yeah, for the body, yeah, it's a 2-year-old.
He's got a big body.
He's got big hoofs too. Yeah, it's just a 2-year-old with just...
injured.
Yeah. So the one that I regretted passing... was this on both sides and just one more point. What day is it, Eric?
So it's the 13th?
13th.
13th
so.
of November.
Oh wait, no, it's the 14th, I think.
Is it? Oh, I should probably change what I wrote now.
Yeah, I think it's the 14th. So it's a new moon tomorrow.
Yep.
And Eric just killed this dandy buck. So he's got a great one side. And then show him the other side. It's really funky. He injured his pedicle or something. So he's got like the little nubs, but it's still got 2 or 3 points. So it's pretty cool. Big body deer. So what happened?
So I was I've been hunting since like mid-September. I did bow season. I wasn't able to get a deer. Had a few close calls. And then I did muzzleloader season, which started on the 2nd, I think. It's my dog. He loves this. Muzzleloader, and I wasn't able to get a deer then. And it was funny because I've probably hunted 20 times without seeing a single deer, you know, just in the past couple weeks. So
Yeah, you were pretty down.
been getting pretty discouraged lately. I remember this morning I went out to this spot where I'd jumped a deer just scouting, and I was like, so I went out there, and every time I go out there I get lost in the woods.
I am lost in the woods.
Every single time. And I ended up spending an hour trying to get up in this tree and like picking the right tree. And I got super discouraged, and I remember this morning texting Kyle and saying, like, this is the most discouraged I've been, like, I almost want to just go home right now, because I've been getting up at 5 a.m. or 4 or 4:30 a.m. very regularly lately, going out into the cold. After like a couple hours at that spot, I decided to head out. I had to go run an errand, and as I'm driving home, I see this swamp on the side of the road, and I'm like, okay, that swamp looks really, really nice.
Juicy.
Right now. It looks really, really nice. So, you know what? I'm just gonna poke around there because my fiance, like, we were gonna go scout either tonight or tomorrow. Actually, we're gonna go scout, and then, so I'm in there poking around on the edge of the swamp in like a little riverbed, and I'm probably like 100 yards from the nearest from the road. 150 to 200 from the nearest house, and like I'm just poking around back there. I'm seeing rubs, I'm seeing sign, and I'm thinking, okay, this place is awesome. Like I think I might see a deer here, but I look on the map and I'm like, okay, there's some pretty good woods, like maybe 50 yards deeper. So I'm just gonna go poke around in there real quick before I leave. And so I'm walking back there, and as I'm slowly walking, I had my gun, and I hear all of a sudden rustling in the woods.
That's pretty neat.
It sounded like a deer, and it was close. So I hit my knees, and I'm like this, on the edge of the swamp, in this kind of like clearing, like in a riverbed, just sitting there with thick woods about 20 yards that way. And I got the gun, and I pull up my grunt call, which is like, I'm like superstitious. I barely think these things work, or I barely thought they work. So I pull up the call and I hit it 4 times, like exactly. And then I sit there for 30 seconds, and I'm so discouraged at this point after all this time of hunting and not seeing anything. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go. And like literally right before I stood up, all of a sudden I see movement and rustling, and this thing comes out, and I swear he looked like a moose to me. As I'm sitting there and he comes out of the bushes, he looked like just a monster. It was insane. And he's walking out, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, he's gonna see me. He's definitely gonna see me. So I get ready. He's walking straight on. Yeah, he's walking straight on towards me. And I'd heard a bunch of bad stories about people shooting deer that way. So I like waited till he got broadside, took my shot, and I had a bad experience last year where I shot a deer and the sight on the gun was off, and I ended up hitting him back here, and then we had to track him for 600 yards. So I just really wanted it to be humane and just like quick for the deer, and not have to feel guilt about, you know, shooting the deer. So it was like it was exactly how I'd hoped it would be. The deer just instantly lights out, and then I
Awesome, dude.
just like felt so grateful after that, because I've been working so hard for this thing.
What do you think was the reason for your success? If you had to give like advice, like maybe just scouting or trying new places, or
I think, well, I didn't do a good job scouting this year because I tried bow hunting, so I didn't spend the first, like, normally I'd spend like September scouting, or I'd spend the summer scouting, but I was planning on scouting in September and not doing bow hunting, and then I got a bow and was like, all right, I'm going to be out there. So I kind of skipped scouting season, and this is a new area. We moved to Milford a few months ago, so I think that I was playing catch up with the scouting. But I think the thing with my success here with this deer is that I just kept pushing myself through, because I was getting discouraged, and it was tough waking up and going out into the cold, and it's been rainy too, cold and rainy.
it was freezing this morning.
Yeah.
I sat 6 hours.
Yeah, I think I did about 4.5.
But it's ironic because I've been seeing deer every day,
And then not today.
and then not today, and then the day I see nothing. I've seen 11 bucks, and then he has this one step out.
Yeah. And
So.
it was, yeah, just the way it all played out, it was.
And from the ground, that's so sick.
I mean, turkey hunting, you kind of hunt like that. When you turkey hunt, you sneak around in the woods, and you hear one in the distance, and you call it and stay still, and then it'll come right in. I feel like even if I was turkey hunting, I wouldn't have been able to get this thing if it was a turkey, because like it would have heard me moving. So like I just got, the wind was right, everything just happened to play out perfect. And the funny thing is I didn't even go in there planning on shooting a deer. I went in there planning on scouting, finding a good tree for another hunt, and then going home. So
Who scouts with a gun? I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Some
well,
lady told me
that's
that.
why I do it.
Some lady was like, why are you scouting with your bow? I said, in case I see something.
Yeah. Worst thing would be if I'd seen this thing out there and didn't have my gun on me.
Yeah, you'd feel awful.
Yeah, it'd be bad. So yeah, it was an amazing hunt. It was definitely the best deer hunting moment I've ever had. Everything fell into place. I have some awesome meat now. I'm very grateful for the deer. It went quickly, and there wasn't any drama with tracking or anything. And I think that it was just overall it was perfect.
Gotta thank God for these things. It's hard in New Hampshire. It's something that we work really hard for, and there's just not that many bucks running around compared to other places. So
yeah, he's not.
It's nice when it comes
thing,
together.
And it just felt even more rare. The more time I spent out there in the woods not seeing anything, it started to feel like there weren't even any deer in the woods. They're like ghosts. I would just see their sign, and I'd never see them. But it came together today, and I'm super grateful for that.
Like I told Eric, it's easy to be on such a low point, but then it can go such a high point like right away. So
right,
it's pretty awesome.
To your question about the advice, I'd say like for me it was I wanted to give up. I wanted to call it a day, but just like everything can change in the woods, you know. You can go from having a dry spell for a month to all of a sudden shooting these beautiful deer. Just like that, it can just turn in an instant. They're out there. You just don't know where they are.
Takes one sit.
Yep.
Or stand. Or
stand.
kneel.
Yeah, or kneel. Yeah, it was amazing. I shot it, and then I told Kyle, and I told my fiance, and then I just sat there and just sat with the deer and like just
gotta take in the time and
yeah,
get good footage, and because those memories, the meat only lasts so long, the memories are forever. So
right, exactly. Yeah, so
alrighty, well, we'll
Amazing hunt.
recap it that way, and now we gotta take it to the butcher, and
Yep.
he'll get it all to the people. He's not gonna mount it, obviously. He's already got a big one. But,
yeah, I got a big one last year, first day hunting.
But yeah, that's
another.
the rack, and we'll stop it there.